Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. I'm Dylan Heisen, and today I'm joined by Sam Quattro.
Hello.
Alex Bonilla.
Hola.
April Collins.
Hello.
And Justin Cummings.
Hello.
Today we are announcing the winners to our 2018 OVA-ies TV Animation Awards. You all have been voting for about 2 weeks. The expert panels have been deliberating, and here we are to announce the winners. This will be attached to a post that has the winners on them. So if you want to hear us as we announce them, then don't look at the associated podcast description. But if you've seen them already, we'll also be giving the analysis. I'll be telling you, we'll get insight into how the expert panels went. We'll be talking about the vote totals. So it's a very interesting process here. And we had 11,700 votes this year for the 2018 OVAs. So you all came out in various fandoms, came out in flock to support their nominees, and we'll be getting into who has won the day. Check out the nominations too. I mean, you can just look in the description, but that is the winners. If you want to look at the nominations separately, all that at overlyanimated.com, and our iTunes, overlyanimated.com/iTunes, youtube.com/overlyanimated. So yes, we have 5 categories we're going to be getting into. We'll get into them in the reverse order. New animated show, supporting character, main character, episode, and best animated show. So let's get some intro here. Is there a category that stands out to you, or a storyline you're going to be following throughout the night here, Alex?
Well, when we had the nominations podcast, I talked about how I was excited to see how much She-Ra got nominated for. And now here, I want to see how much it's able to escape with. I think Best New Show is obviously the strongest category for She-Ra, but I think it has decent shots in the character categories as well. So I'm interested to see how well it finishes in those parts of the awards.
Yeah, She-Ra nominated for all 5 categories. Will it win any? How many? That's a strong storyline here tonight. Sam, anything you're watching for?
The In Memoriam segment.
There will not be an In Memoriam segment.
For all the canceled shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does Adventure Time get a posthumous award for Come Along With Me? That is a big deal.
I mean, you could go through all the shows that ended this year. Yeah. Good. Okay. We'll have the honorary in memoriam at the end if you stick around. No, we won't. Okay.
Wow.
Dang
April,
it, I dressed up for this.
Look, it's still a fancy occasion, so thank you for dressing up. What are you looking for, April?
I'm curious to see how. I'm curious to see how Ladybug does, because it seemed like there was a huge push with the fans. Same with Voltron, which is a show I don't watch, so I'm going to be severely disappointed if any of those win.
Is that how that works?
Yes, but I'm also curious to see how She-Ra does, because it's I think it's one of the only ones that was nominated in every category, and it was a strong show for me, so nice. Following it with Alex.
Yes. Okay. April referenced some of the fan turnouts we were aware of as it went on, so we can talk about that at the end. That might spoil the vote if we say which fan bases turned out the most, so we'll get into that, because I did ask at the end of the poll who watches what shows, so we have some interesting data there. Justin, what are you looking for here?
I think the most interesting category to me is going to be the best new show, simply because 5 of those are not up for any other awards, if I remember correctly. It's a very tight category like that. That to me has some really interesting shows, and I think it'll be curious to see who wins this year best new show and how that show does in the coming years. I think that award is going to say a lot about the future of where we're going. Whereas we have Voltron's over, Adventure Time's over, Mysticon's over. Are any of those gonna, like Sam mentioned, kind of get that honorary now that they're done award? Or is She-Ra just gonna sweep the entire night?
Yes, all possible. Okay, good thing. And Justin transitions us into our first category here, which is best new show, best new animated show of 2018. Only ones that were eligible were ones that premiered this year, had their world premiere this year. The nominees in this category were, as announced previously, Bloom Into You, the only anime that got nominated here, Craig of the Creek, The Dragon Prince, Final Space, Hilda, and She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. And as mentioned before, 11,700 votes were cast. And the winner is She-Ra and the Princesses of Power.
Yay!
Woo!
Yay!
First win of the night.
Yes, first win for She-Ra here. I posted the results for our panelists to look over. She-Ra won the open vote with 40% of the vote.
Amazing.
Our panel only ranked it third in this category, so it won with an average rank of 2. Basically, that's how this is going to work. I should have explained that before. Where you take the placement in the vote. This percentage doesn't matter, just how it ranks relative to the other ones. And then you take then on our panel, which consists of people who'd watched every or most of the shows in our internal community in a category, and we ranked them 1 to 6, and you average the numbers. So She-Ra had an average rank of 2. That was enough to win. Second place was Bloom Into You, which our expert panel put first, but was only 5th in the open vote. And then we had a 4-way tie for third, with the rest averaging a 4th rank in various combinations of vote and panel. Dragon Prince also did really well in the open vote. It got 31% of the vote. Those She-Ra and Dragon Prince really dominated this category in terms of voting. Yeah. Alex, are you shocked here?
I'm shocked that Dragon Prince got such a high percentage of the open vote. Like, if you add up Bloom Into You, Craig of the Creek, Final Space, and Hilda, the percentages don't even match the Dragon Prince. So that's like how much it dwarfed it. I'm very confused. Like, the Dragon Prince is a fine show, don't get me wrong, but I feel like Final Space did more interesting stuff. Craig of the Creek was way more consistent. Hilda had a better sense of its tone. Like, I feel like all those shows have stuff over the Dragon Prince. So I'm fine that like people liked it, but I'm just surprised at how much of a percentage of the vote it got.
Yeah, Justin, you weren't surprised by that.
No, not at all, because I'm part of that 31. No, I'm very happy. I'm very happy that Dragon Prince did well with the open vote. I'm not happy with our expert panel on their opinion of Dragon Prince. No, I really enjoyed Dragon Prince, and so I'm glad I'm not alone in liking it. I'm glad that other people did agree. I'm shocked to see Craig of the Creek only get 5% of the open vote. That surprised me, because Craig of the Creek is very consistent. I think what hurt Final Space, Bloom Into You, and Craig of the Creek the most is they were not dropped on Netflix.
Yeah,
and so
you might say there seems to be a correlation there.
Yeah, because the 3 highest, Hilda, Dragon Prince, and She-Ra from the open vote, were the ones that all happened at once. So people saw it a lot quicker and a lot more at once. Whereas I feel like the expert panel kind of didn't. It was less, what do I remember the most? And more like, okay, sit down episode by episode. And so I feel like that definitely hurt some of the more traditionally aired shows. But that's just reflecting what we're seeing in all awards shows now, with like Netflix and Hulu dominating.
Yes, Netflix dominate our award show too. Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh my goodness.
Craig only getting 5% of the vote. So I'll reference I asked at the end of the poll, which shows that appear in the spout did you follow in 2018? I was going to use that to weigh the open vote, by the way, just to try to negate the popularity contest more. I didn't end up doing that just because it didn't matter. I started to calculate it. There were enough votes that it just offset it completely. So I just have that data for information now. And Craig, only 5% of the people who voted in the awards watched Craig of the Creek. That was the third lowest percentage of any show. So that's yeah. I think that follows along with what we've been seeing. Alex and I are modding the Craig subreddit. There's not a lot of online traction for Craig so far. I really hope that changes, because that show's fantastic. Our expert panel put it second. And speaking to the expert panel, I think this was a tight category. There's a lot of differing opinions here. We just ended up just averaging out all of our takes, and Bloom Into You ended up being first. It aired its finale today, and I bumped it up a spot on my personal list, and it's really fantastic anime of the year. But yeah, She-Ra and Craig were high considerations as well, and there's some, but not a ton, of Dragon Prince love. But these are all fantastic shows, so it's tough to rank 1 to 6, I would say. But She-Ra winning, probably the favorite in this category. So this is a good result, but an expected result for a show that should fare well probably next year as well in this award show. But we'll see how it does in 2019. Okay, so let's move on to our next category here, which is Best Supporting Character of 2018, Best Animation Supporting Character. And this is always the zany category, so we'll see what the result we get.
Is it zany? Is it though?
Yeah, can you give us history as to the category to have context here?
I could look that up. So best new show was is a new. We didn't have that category last year, but I can speak to the other categories, the history of that. So last year, Diana Cavendish won for Little Witch Academia.
That's right.
That was kind of a surprising result, yeah. And then in our 2016's awards were not the same. It did not do the same as we were doing here, but Peridot won it in 2016, this category. So that's the history of the supporting character category. This is the third year of this awards. This year for supporting, the nominees were Eclipsa from Star Wars Force of Evil, Hawkmoth from Miraculous Ladybug, Kitty Boone from Mysticons, Lapis from Steven Universe, Lotor from Voltron Legendary Defender, and Scorpia from She-Ra and the Princess.
Yeah. Go Scorpia.
I think it's late to be cheering them on, is what I'd say to that.
You know what? If we had an OVA pool, I'd probably lose.
Oh, predicting the winners.
Yep.
Yeah, we
Why
should
didn't we do that?
That'd be fun.
Yeah, bet money.
No.
What if we gave away like honorary patron titles?
Yeah, that's
Wow.
a good idea. Okay. The winner for supporting character 2018 is Lotor from Voltron
Yeah.
Legendary Defender.
Oh.
Lotor.
Anyone surprised that's been keeping up?
If you've been
No.
following this, this
don't
is
know.
not a shock. Lotor had 43% of the open vote here. He kind of dominated this vote. Lapis was second in the vote with 20%. And I guess I should say the ranking. Lapis ended up second, tied for third is Hawkmoth and Eclipse. Scorpia fifth, Kitty Boone sixth.
Wow.
Yeah, this a big component of our open vote was AJ Lurcasco, the voice actor for Lotor, retweeted the link. So with a lot of Voltron,
very much swaying the vote.
and then
Was that
the
first
official
big industry retweet.
Yeah, the official Voltron account, I think, then also retweeted it.
Wow.
But, yeah. Yeah, if you're looking for storylines, the Thomas, the Ladybug creator, also retweeted it. So these are the voting factions that we're looking at here. But yeah, Lotor especially got a lot of support. He was the perfect result for Lotor, who's ranked first in the expert panel and won the open vote. I believe that will be the only time that happened. I'll confirm later. But yeah, Lotor, average rank of 1. No one else was really close. This was Lotor's category. He had a fantastic year. He will not be back. And this, Alex, I think you talked about this before. Lotor is maybe the best element of Voltron.
Yeah, I think he was much stronger in the first half of 2018, as we got focus on him. But even in this final season, there's a couple of episodes show him in flashbacks that are still really good too. So I think that Lotor through and through ended up supporting Voltron in a lot of its duller moments. He was a very charismatic character, and so it's good that Voltron, being one of the in memoriam shows, goes out with what I think is its best character, leaving with an award here.
Yeah, I think this is the one to win if it's going to win it. We'll see if it wins others, but yeah, Justin, do you like Lotor winning here?
Oh, I absolutely adore Lotor as a character. I think Lotor is delightful. And what's really, really great about Lotor, I'm going to try not to make this too long, is in the original Voltron, Lotor is just a creepy stalker with mommy issues. And they took that really kind of problematic character, and he's still a villain, but he's so much more complex and nuanced and watchable. And they really took a terrible character in the original version and made him the star of the show. And I think they did fantastic.
Yeah. It was looking back on Voltron, I think Lotor is really going to stand out here. So I think this is a deserved win for Lotor. Basically, in the expert panel, I think the way we kind of saw it was the top tier was Lotor, Hawkmoth, and Eclipsa, and then Lapis, Scorpia, and Kitty were kind of in the second tier here for varying reasons. I think Lapis didn't have a lot of screen time this season.
Well, I will say I'm happy that Lapis finishes second out of 2 episodes in 2018, but her 2 episodes were so good. So good for her.
Yes.
Silver is strong for her.
Yes, that's a good placement. Strong support in the vote. Kind of split the vote after Lotor, with the exception of Mysticons, which we'll be seeing didn't. No fan base to turn out, disadvantaged. Our award structure, considering a vote, is biased against Mysticons and Craig and stuff, so it's unfortunate. But yeah, Lotor walking away here, the winner, and we see the Voltron turnout. This is the first result. Will there be more throughout the night?
No,
No?
I don't think there will be. Based on my interactions with the Voltron fandom, no, there will not be.
Well, yeah, we'll revisit that in a second. It's a funny storyline. Okay, so let's get to the best animation main character of 2018. And the nominees here were BoJack from BoJack, Catra. Why?
Why?
Because during our nomination process,
Everybody's wrong.
Catra from She-Ra, Marinette from Ladybug, Pearl from Steven Universe, Star from Star Wars First Evil, and Zarya from Mysticons. I believe the previous winners here were Pearl 2 years ago, and she's nominated again here, and then last year Star won. So
did Pearl even do anything this year?
She had two particularly good episodes, and then recently just had another good episode. So.
That happened. I forgot this happened that year. This year.
the twist episode, and then the one of the immediately following ones, either the one right after that. Yeah, there was another strong one for her. So, but again, maybe limited by. Would you seem like a what?
A jerk.
To be fair, Pearl had 3 episodes. Lapis had 2 episodes. So what really is a main character in Steven Universe anymore?
Right. You could argue no one except Steven is a main character, but we put Pearl in this category.
It is his universe.
It is his universe, yes. Okay, so the winner, I will say this was the closest category in terms of the vote. There was, I'll get to the vote difference in a second, but this was extremely close vote, and the winner of Best Main Character is Marinette Dupin-Chang from Miraculous Ladybug. Yes, Marinette. We're very hype here that Marinette won this.
Miraculous! Simply the best!
Yes!
Marinette
good for her.
Sam is needs to watch more Ladybug to understand. That's what
No.
I'll say.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy.
So Marinette won the open
I just
vote.
think it's funny.
Marinette won by 4 votes over Catra.
Wow.
Yeah. It was 3,154 to 3,150 was the vote totals for Marinette and Catra here in the open vote. Razor thin margin. Ladybug fans, Catra was originally dominating this category, then Thomas retweeted it, and Ladybug fandom went out in force for Marinette. She barely squeaked out the win. She was ranked second in our expert panel, so she was a clear winner with an average rank of 1.5 here. Tied for second was Pearl, Catra, and Zarya. Fifth was BoJack, and sixth was Star. Zarya, we ranked first in our expert panel. We're all big fans of Zarya, and I will say this was very close in the panel as well. We didn't really know what to do with this category. It's tough. And BoJack was third in our panel, but didn't get enough of the vote. Pearl with also a strong vote finish. The vote was kind of split between Marinette, Pearl, and Catra in the open vote here. And then Star and Zarya were negated by the vote and the panel. So it's different for each of those. So, but Marinette, strong finishes in both. She had a fantastic year. She's a really great character in Ladybug. And I think in a year them had arguments against a lot of these characters. Like, these are all fantastic characters, but there were strong arguments against a lot of these people. Marinette ended up being a solid, steady choice, I think, to put in the top of our list in the panel.
She was like the Shape of Water of this year.
I don't know if she's ever a favorite, but yeah, she's that's true. Like there's more divisive choices. Like there's a lot of arguments about BoJack as a character. At one point, we were gonna rank him first. He ended up third. Pearl didn't have enough episodes. Catra was very divisive in our panel. And then Star, we ended up putting last. Actually, I'll defend that for a second because I still think Star is the best character on TV. She was only in like 8 episodes apparently this year, and she was not really too much of the focus of this season. So Star didn't air a lot of episodes, and she wasn't in a few of them as well.
I just want to point out the mirroring that, like, here, BoJack and Star are second to last and last. Last year, it was Star first and BoJack tied for second. So really, how the years change.
Yeah. I mean, I think BoJack could have won this category. In my opinion, this was the strongest year, but divisive things there. But yeah, we all love Marinette, so Marinette won this category here. Very happy for her and Ladybug fans, and I'm sure Sarah is accepting this on her behalf. And thanks to Thomas as well for retweeting it. So
also
retweeting it.
Yeah.
I want to say also, this is a strong first year showing for Catra, and I hope that this is the foundation of future campaigns being even more successful for her. So good job, Catra.
Yeah, Catra.
How many times does she have to say? Hey Adora for her to be number one.
It would have, and she needed one more
More.
time. It was a razor thin
More.
margin, so if she had said one more
Wow.
time, she would have won the
One
vote,
more
yeah.
time, then everybody would have been like, "Yep, she's
That's-
sexy
yeah.
enough."
5 votes would have instantly come in.
Yeah, that's how it would have worked. So, yeah, I mean, she got 8 to 20% of the vote in her first season. So I assume this will Katra and Shira will be major players next year.
Hey Adora.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how many Heyodoras are to come. Okay, let's move on to the big categories of the night. The character category is a little bit wonky, but these are the big ones. The episode and show. Or we'll start with best episode of 2018, and the nominees were Single Pale Rose, Steven Universe, The Black Paladins, Voltron, Come Along With Me, Adventure Time, Free Churro, BoJack, Princess and the Pirate, Mysticons, and Promise, She-Ra and the Princess of Power. Yeah, I believe Rick and Morty won this category last year, and Steven Universe dominated in 2016. So Steven Universe probably won 2 years ago. But yeah,
I'm
Rick and Morty was
excited.
the big winner last year. Did not air an episode this year, so will not be getting anything. So we'll see who is taking the place this year.
They don't
And-
even get an honorable mention.
No honorable mentions. Air an episode, guys. Come on. We'll see if they do that in 2019. Is it a sure thing? I'm not sure. But okay. And the winner of best episode is A Single Pale Rose, Steven Universe.
Woo!
Woo!
Yes.
Woo!
We, on the panel, we ranked A Single Pale Rose first, and it was second in the open vote with 23% of the votes for an average rank of 1.5. Tied for second was Come Along With Me and The Black
Wow.
Paladins. Fourth,
Wow.
Free Churro. Fifth, Promise. Sixth, Princess and the Pirate. The winner of the open vote was Black Paladins. Again, Voltron fans turning on force. They voted slightly less than Lotor, but along the same percentages, I think, of Black Paladins getting the Voltron vote here, but then a lot of love for Steven Universe getting it to second place, and then it was tight with a few of the episodes as well. No love for Free Churro at 3%, which is, I think, arguably the best episode of the year. So that's kind of
insulting.
I know,
insulting.
I'm really upset. I loved Free Churro.
Yeah, there's a lot of us that think that's the best episode of the year. So only getting 3% of your vote, that's an argument against having an open vote here. That's not good judgment. But
Hey, don't question democracy here. Let's not do that just yet.
I am satisfied with the winner, though, of this category. This is my number one episode, so I think it worked out with Single Pale Rose here. Yeah.
It's a solid choice.
I think there were like a lot of strong just singular episodes throughout the entire year, and if anything, I'm looking at what the first and the second, at least in terms of Adventure Time and Steven Universe. I mean, those are two really iconic shows, and A Single Pale Rose is arguably like the biggest like mythology thing that Steven Universe has ever done. And Come Along With Me is like the end of an era. So really, I don't know, just a lot of feelings happening within me right now that the people have instilled.
That the people have instead. It would have been nice for Adventure Time to win this category. I
Yeah,
think,
but
it's on the way out. It got close. Black Paladins. There's a second when it was about to win this category, but then the panel turned against it a little bit, and it.
Thank you, panel.
I think it would have not won anyway because the Single Pale Rose surged in the vote and ended up at second. It was that was like kind of like a late push for that episode. I'll get I guess not relevant. I think there's a correlation between Ladybug fans and Steven Universe fans that are voting actually because there's no Ladybug episode here, so people voting for Marinette. I think a lot of them were voting for Single Pale Rose. That was a big push for that. But yeah, Single Pale Rose, our best episode winner. But yeah, this was a strong category, a lot of strong episodes. These will all be on our top 50 end of year list, which will be out in a few days. So look out also for that at overlandmated.com. Plug for that. And last category, the big one of the night, best show of 2018.
I think She-Ra might win.
And the nominees are BoJack, Mysticons, Ruby, She-Ra and the Princess of Power, Steven Universe, and Voltron. You heard that right. Ruby was nominated.
Why?
Ugh.
It's good this year. I'm telling you guys, there's a lot of skepticism.
I've
Dylan-
heard you do nothing but complain about that.
Yeah.
show.
And you told me, Sam, I don't know if you should watch this.
Look, I'm not saying you.
Dylan, you told me not to watch
Look,
this.
I've told a lot of people not to watch it. And I've done a lot of complaining, but it is good this year, so it's not an absurd nomination. I'll just say that. Would it have been on my top 6? No, but it's not an absurd nomination. So, look, look, it's not going to win. That's spoiler. Ruby didn't win this category, but so we don't need to complain anymore.
I'm so upset.
We don't need to.
Look, the late bloomers exist. Some of them take 6 seasons, but they're out there.
Yes.
And I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Last year, Rick and Morty won this category 2 years ago. Steven Universe. We'll see what wins this year. Last minute prediction. Sam said She-Ra.
Yeah.
Steven.
I have hope for Steven.
I have a feeling it's Steven.
Hope for Steven. Yes, we believe.
I don't really want it to be Steven.
Okay, we'll get your reaction one way or the other in a second, and we'll see why. And the winner of a best show of 2018 is Steven Universe.
Wow!
Yay!
We're so surprised.
Yes.
Steven swept the top 2 categories, winning Best Episode and Best Show. It had an average rank of 1.5. Second was Voltron. Third, tied for third were She-Ra and BoJack. Fifth, Ruby. Sixth, Mysticons. Voltron won the open vote here with 34% of the vote. Steven was a close second with 29%. She-Ra was the other major player here at third in 23%. So those were your big players. And then the rest didn't get a ton of support, but BoJack got love for our committee, so it got tied for third. Our committee ranked Steven first, BoJack second, Voltron third, which left Voltron with an average rank of 2, and it almost won here. So if there was less fan love for Steven, it would not have won this category, and Voltron would have won. That was a close call. The Voltron turnout was there and almost propelled it to more than one win. Sam, why are you disappointed in Steven winning?
Okay, I'm not disappointed. I think Steven Universe arguably had the best year it's ever had in terms of episodes. So, it deserved it. But I don't know. It's kind of like how Pixar and Disney dominate the animated movie category every year in the Oscars. Yeah. It's like, you gotta, shake it up sometimes.
To be fair, Steven Universe was tied for last year, so.
Well, there you go.
It had a down year. It did dominate the previous year, but Steven is going to always be, I think, our site's default winner. To be honest, to be fair. So
which is like
that, you guys. It's a challenge now.
But Voltron and She-Ra did well on the vote. BoJack was close from. I was like kind of a tied for one at the top of my personal list. Steven and BoJack and Alex. BoJack cannot even win an award in our fake award show. Like BoJack.
Here in open vote, it's 6%. Free Churro got 3%. So I guess it's just people on. I don't know, because BoJack is a Netflix show. It's an adult show. I feel like it's one of the more critically acclaimed animated shows. So it feels weird that of the voters, like very few people actually cared enough about BoJack to put him at the top of anything. Admittedly, all these categories are strong competition, but still, it feels weird to see all the voting in single digits for BoJack.
Yeah, not a strong turnout from BoJack fans. Not clear if to the extent that BoJack has a strong fan base. But it's kind of sad here because BoJack notoriously is like not winning Emmys and stuff, even though it should. It's like one of the best shows on TV, and did not win. It had a strong year last year. Did not win any awards for us. It got beat by Rick and Morty. This year got beat by Steven Universe in the same categories. I think that's unfortunate. I think this was BoJack's best year, and you could have easily seen it winning here.
Nobody
I always
cares
tell
for the
people to watch
horseman.
BoJack.
Yeah. That's the opposite, Ruby, right? Tell everyone to watch BoJack. Yeah. So,
I'm like, if you just make it past the first 6 episodes of the first season, then
it's great.
Yeah,
better than getting past the first 6 seasons.
That's true.
Steven Universe is a similar-ish thing, with the season 1. There's a lot of these shows where Voltron season, but Voltron.
I counter that season 1 Steven is great.
Yeah, that's a
But speaking of season 1, again, She-Ra, 23% of the vote, first season. So that's strong. Like, if you wait for a second season where that they've already built up characters and stuff. So imagine how well, if it continues on its path, She-Ra is on its way to becoming a top tier animated show, considering the performance it's put up in these awards.
Yeah, I suspect next year will be Steven versus She-Ra. If Steven airs episodes, we'll know who it is. We'll get at least.
We already know they will.
We're getting the hour special and
Yeah.
probably the movie at some point. Yeah. But yeah, those should be those are looking like strong support among groups that were voting. Justin referenced the fact that Voltron fans might not vote for anything outside of LOTOR. I think we saw that reflected in the best show vote, where it got close to 10% less of the vote than it got in the other two categories. Voltron did. I saw a lot of tweets saying I'm voting for LOTOR and Black Paladins, but not Voltron. Voltron fans were very upset with the show, the way the show ended, and were being very petty and not voting for their own show.
I love that.
They still,
If Voltron had won, we would have had an army banging down our doors, and we don't even have doors.
Yeah, it is the podcast doors. It still won the vote barely over Steven Universe. Again, I think She-Ra was second, before Voltron fans came in, She-Ra was winning this category in the vote, and then Voltron fans came in, Voltron dominating, and then Steven kind of crept up to number 2, almost. With another week, it would have even won this category in the vote. Again, I think that's due to Ladybug fans. A lot of them were supporting Steven Universe. I'm not sure how many Steven specific fans were voting. I didn't see any prominent Steven Universe retweets or anything. I think just like everyone watches the show and everyone loves it, and so it got a lot of like love from people who were voting for other stuff down ballot. But yeah, Steven, our big winner here. It has another episode to air this year, so it can only add to the strong victory. Yeah, what's April? What are your takeaways here from these 5 categories?
I'm glad She-Ra won some things. I'm upset about the Voltron stuff because I don't watch that show.
That's not a good reason to root against something.
If I don't watch it, it can't be that good.
Exactly.
That's the opinion of most Oscar voters.
I'm not saying that. I'm sure it's a fine show. I think Hawkmoth was robbed.
Hawkmoth was definitely robbed, yeah.
And that's all I'm going to say about that. Because Hawkmoth is the best.
He had such a good year. Wow, so
really
robbed.
Good. But I'm really glad. I'm glad like Marinette won. So I'm glad to see like Ladybug was on the board. So
yeah,
that's very makes me feel good. They had a really strong second season this year.
Yeah, definitely. April speaking for the Ladybug fans here. Sam, what are your reactions here?
I don't know. I would have liked to see BoJack win something just because, I like that's the show I most value these days out of the nominees, I would say. But you can't deny the power of the gays. And what the voting pool is. In terms of Voltron, I didn't realize how big the fandom was, like Jesus. But yeah, I don't know, it was definitely an awards that we had.
Wow. Okay. That's very
put that in your iTunes reviews that I said that.
Well, you'll leave an iTunes review saying that. That'll be helpful. Justin, takeaways.
I'm very happy.
Okay. In general.
Yeah, I'm just happy.
Okay,
just like with life.
Yeah.
Justin's happy. Okay, Alex, what are your takeaways here?
Steven Universe finished in the top 2 of every category it was eligible for, so I think that just cements like still how quality the Steven Universe was in 2018, that it was voted well upon across the board. And yeah, as I've said already, She-Ra is ascending, and I hope to see more of it next year. Similarly, fighting for spots alongside Steven. I think that's the race to watch going forward.
Yes, I think so too. Yeah, the big headline: Steven Universe, the big winner of the night with the top 2 categories. BoJack was robbed, didn't win anything. And Voltron did well in the vote and snuck a category win in there. And very happy for Marinette winning best main character, She-Ra winning best new show. Kind of the chalk pick here, but it's like it only premiered a month ago and already like this. Very well respected force among animation fans here. But let's conclude by getting into this question I asked at the end. I had 11,500 people tell me what shows they watched, which ended up being like pretty interesting data. But yeah, we saw that the show most watched show by people that voted on this was Voltron with 56%. So that should reflect in the vote here. A lot of Voltron fans were voting. Steven Universe was second, 50% of all people that voted in this.
Wow,
watched Steven.
Good.
Yeah. Then next was She-Ra with 42%. So Or I guess She-Ra and Ladybug, 43%, 42%. A lot of Ladybug and She-Ra support. That was an underrated aspect. I don't think She-Ra was just like magically getting a lot of votes here because people like it. A lot of She-Ra fans were specifically voting for the show. But it's impressive considering the show came out a month ago that there's already a lot of fans for that.
You can't underestimate the power of the gays, Dylan.
I did not ask if they were gay on the ballot, but I'd suspect that a high percentage were voted.
Yeah.
Yes. That would be my prediction. It would be like non-Voltron fans that voted would be large percent. Maybe Voltron fans do a lot of Clant shippers. Yeah. But
we need to put out a poll about this, Dylan.
No, I'm not.
You need to be the one to do it. Do it.
I'm not polling that.
Do it.
The Dragon Prince was next with 36% of people, so that's why Dragon Prince fared so well. A lot of people are watching it. Adventure Time, 33%, Star, 30%, and then after that, nothing was above 15%. Only 13% of people watched BoJack who voted. You know, that's a reason why. Only 176 out of the 11,000 people watched Mysticons that voted. That is not surprising, but I think does show how incompetent Nickelodeon was with marketing that show. The fact that
should I go watch that?
Yes, you should. It was fantastic. 170 out of 11,000. That's and I think the show is getting its best press from our dealing. So Nickelodeon, thanks for that. And
thanks, Nick, for nothing.
we talked about Craig underrepresented. Bloom and Tio, by the way, did not get much support in the ballot, 3%. It was a currently airing anime. Go watch the show. It just ended. It's fantastic. And Final Space, only 6%. I was surprised by that. I thought the Final Space fandom was really big.
I thought it was too. I'm really surprised.
Yeah, maybe if Olan retweeted it, would have gotten more. But Final Space, another show to look out for next year. We're going to get a longer season 2. Should be pretty good. And then, and Hilda got 15%. The other thing, we referenced this before. I do think there's just a sizable Netflix voter on this. Like, I think if you watch Netflix shows, you're more likely to watch other Netflix shows. And so people voted for basically Netflix shows, with the exception of BoJack for whatever reason. But yeah, people who watched Voltron were more likely to watch She-Ra and Dragon Prince. So those got strong support on the ballot as well. But yeah, some interesting data we got for online animation fans here. But yes, that's it for the awards this year. Congratulations to all of the winners, and
I'll accept all of your trophies.
Yeah, I'll tweet at some people with the OVA account. We'll see if anyone retweets it, if they accept it. Yeah. I think we'll get Lotor and maybe Tom. We can get some people to
I really hope Thomas does.
Yes. So
can we please do acceptance podcast speeches?
I feel like people wouldn't do that. They retweet maybe. I don't think they would. They would do the acceptance.
I'll do that.
Anyone who won, if you want to, I will host as well. If you want one, I will do it. I will give you your award. Please.
Okay. I think they're gonna do an acceptance tweet. That would be acceptable.
It's not because I'm a fanboy. I'm a professional journalist.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, that's good. So yes, good stuff here at our year-end awards. I think these are good results. We have 50% vote process, but the fact that 11,000 people vote is not going to dissuade me from doing this again next year. Even though largely it's not like people voting for what they think is best; it's voting for their favorites, which is not what we're trying to do here. But we turned out with good winners.
Any award show is just voting for your favorites.
Yeah,
I think you could argue we had the exact 5 right winners here. There's an argument to be made. So I think.
Do you want to make that argument?
No, because my personal ranks did not 100% reflect this, but they were close. Nobody who won was lower than 3rd in my personal ranks. I think this was a good.
We should have a secondary awards show in June or something. We should call it the Golden OVA-ies, the Golden Globes, but
the second award show. How would the winners be determined there?
I would pick them.
Mid-season.
I think
industry.
I think to respect the process of the Golden Globes, we'd just take 5 random people on Twitter and then determine winners. Because that's basically how the Golden Globes work. So
yeah.
We'll work on that. We'll get that up.
Perfect.
That's how you're gonna get that's how we're gonna get the Ruby and the win and the Dragon Prince win, and we'll get the 5 people on Twitter.
The Golden OVA-ies hosted by Sam Quattro.
And then Sam will host.
Can we split it into drama and comedy and put terrible
yes, that's true.
options?
We'll split
Best
it. Yeah.
musical or comedy.
And then
That's where we'll get the
BoJack will be
best-
in comedy, and
That's
everyone will get mad.
where we're gonna get the best song nominations because
Yeah,
we didn't
and-
have that this year.
Yeah, we didn't have best song, no. But it would have been.
Even though there were a lot of best songs, I would say could have done it this year.
We could have done it. We did that 2 years ago, but
We should have
didn't
done visuals.
Yeah, well, what happened to best art direction? Didn't we have that last year?
We had best visuals, yeah. We could have done that. I did new show instead. I didn't want too many categories. It's already kind of hard with 5. But yeah, we could have done visuals. I don't know who would have won visuals. Maybe Voltron. I
Final
think
Space.
might have won that too. Final Space would be a strong contender for that. Yeah, for sure. Hilda though. I feel like Hilda. Maybe would be number 1 on my list for that. Okay, so let us know what you think of these winners. You can comment on the post at overlyanimated.com. If you're listening on YouTube, youtube.com/overlyanimated, you can comment there as well. You can talk with us on our Discord about them at overlyanimated.com/discord. A lot of discussion throughout. That's where our panels were. And we have channels for all of these shows there. And you can support us via Patreon at patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thanks to all our current patrons, especially our patron of the podcast, Joanna, aka Crispy, and thanks as always to our patron executive producers, John Ryan, Steve, Alex, and Hugh. Check out other podcasts we have. I mentioned that top 50 end of year list. We also had a queer representation year in review podcast that went up. That's kind of our big year end coverage. And then we're covering Steven as Steven's airing new episodes here. Familiar was this week, and then next week we're going to have another new episode. So podcast, both a recap and a feedback podcast are out on Familiar. Look for those
Feedback.
at overlyminute.com. Yes, feedback hosted by Justin. Yeah, it was 100% on topic, I'm sure, as always.
It was
And
like 85.
that's
Good enough for me.
If true, that's a high percentage. So that's what if that sounds appealing to you, the feedback podcast, which I think it would be for a lot of people. Yes. Okay. So thanks for listening. Thank you guys for being on, and everyone for voting, and for the expert panels. All was a great process with a lot of people checking us out. It was good stuff, getting almost 12,000 votes here. And
It's like the size of a small town.
yes,
It
and I
is.
think most importantly, visibility. I think for a lot of shows, people didn't necessarily know.
Yeah, now
were
I can
on.
watch Bloom Into You because I didn't hear about it before this.
Yes, you should definitely watch Bloom Into You. And anything on about. There's also a ton of other good shows didn't get nominated. Castlevania, of course, we talked about that last
Aww.
Yeah.
Yeah, Castlevania.
Castlevania's so good.
in our top episodes. So look out! Yeah, look out for more shows in our top episodes. But that's it for this. Thanks for listening, guys. We will see you next time. Bye.
Adios.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.